What's going on, guys? FJ Eric here, and I'm going to be doing a walk around of my FJ build so far. I know the last video, which was actually my first video ever on YouTube, ever to edit, all that stuff. If you want to check that out, you can see the differences of what I had and then versus like what I have now. I think it's been about 9 months or so. Done a lot to this, so I'm super stoked to show y'all, but it is nowhere near finished. So just keep that in mind. And before I get started, all of these links are going to be in the description, either from other videos of me actually doing the mods to it or having it done, just having the link, that way you could purchase it yourself. Most of everything I got from Amazon, so definitely check out those links. So we're going to go ahead and start. Front is going to be the bumper. I still have the ResFab, I think it's the Hoop V2, and inside this bumper I've got the 12,000 pound Badlands winch. Replace that with synthetic cable. I've just got some knockoff D-rings on it, and it's a 20-inch light bar. I do have a little bit of water damage inside of it right now. Kind of sucks, but that's also kind of what you get when you pay like 50 bucks for a little knockoff light. Still gives off something, so really not too worried about it. And then I've got the Baja Amber driving and fog lights, which are very bright. Been very happy with those. Along with being bright and happy with lights, I've got some LED aftermarket bulbs to keep these headlights looking stock from the outside, but they're very, very bright. Definitely check those out. Now this antenna right here is actually just so I can see where the bumper's at. I know that sounds funny, but these solar panels on top, got one on the hood and one on top of the tent up there, and I used to be able to see this hoop from the driver's seat, and I'm so short that now that it's up there I could not see it. So I put the stock antenna up here on the bumper. And along with those amber lights in the bumper, I've got some ambers, just some knockoff, but I've been very, very happy with these. One on each side for my ditch lights. I actually plan on getting another set of these and putting them in the back, and those will be like my follow lights. I have not done any more work on the suspension. I'm still rocking the 3-inch Pro Comp lift with some Tough Country cheapo upper control arms. I do have skids on those lower control arms. Not really sure what brand those are. Came when I bought it. Still have the 17-inch Black Rhino wheels. I'm having to get new tires though. I did have Toyos, same size, but these are Mudclaw Extreme MT, like the cheapest thing I could find. It was when I was in Colorado, so I had to pick up something really fast. But I don't mind the look of them. Still 35, 12 and a half. But the dual battery setup, brand new. Really haven't had that for too many months now. Had a buddy of mine from Tuscaloosa put all this in. I've got two Optima yellow top. Just had to modify the inside just a hair, but nothing too crazy. Battery isolator, another fuse panel back here that I've got all my lights and stuff running through. This little bridge breaker. This thing is fully set up and I've had no issues. Now that I've got the solar helping charge this battery and also the DC to DC while that's on charging, haven't had any problems. Just this battery isolator, make sure, this is where I messed up, make sure that your inverter or DC to DC has an isolator in it. I was unaware that mine did not, so once we hooked everything up, it basically, like, it didn't even work. So I had to pick this up. I want to say it was only like 30 bucks, but a huge lifesaver to actually know what you're getting into. Now on this side, you can tell that the intake is totally different. It's actually PVC pipe that I had cut and then painted bed liner to keep it from moving. Works just fine. But that is because this snorkel that we've put in, we couldn't use the factory system, which is fine for me. Kind of eliminates a lot of this area right here. And I eventually want to have onboard air and maybe a small tank up here. Not really sure what I'm going to end up doing with that yet, but that'll be in the future. Now that you see these wires coming down, it's kind of a mix of a few different things. That top solar and also my rear backup light. I know this antenna looks a little bit beefier than the stock one, and that's because that's actually my CB antenna running through the factory mount. Just thought that was really cool to do because I've got another antenna in the back. We'll get to that. But yeah, running out of room, just thought it would go really good there. And making our way around, gonna have Warrior sliders on the side. And this awning is going to be the newest addition. I haven't even got to really use it yet, besides just opening it up and showing everybody and woohoo. So fingers crossed to get to actually use that soon. But it's the Alucab 270. Wraps all the way around this backside. That was mainly why I wanted it. Just standing underneath here right now, because this canvas is so thick. I mean, you can tell it's a huge degree drop. just from standing outside in the sun. So I can't wait to see kind of how that withstands, and really, you know, give a little bit better review than I can right now, obviously. So it doesn't have any poles. It's kind of like a freestanding area, but there is one that drops down from the center, and then all of your straps on the end are actually held in all of these poles. So you can just pull those out and then stake those if you need to. But with that being said, making our way to the back. I know it looks a lot different than y'all had seen it last time. So still have the Warrior rear bumper, but I had a buddy at the shop in Anniston, Foothills Fab, actually build me this swing out, and dude did an awesome job on it. It's been raining so much that I still have not got to paint it yet, and I've probably had it for, you know, a month or two now. So I will be getting around to that. Yeah, holds my high lift. Spare tire is actually my old Toyo, the best looking one that I had still left. It could hold a 40, not that I'll probably ever go that big, but still, the option's there if I want it. CBI, jerry can mounts, and then these are just some jerry cans from not Harbor Freight, but Tractor Supply. Now I've still got the collapsible ladder, and right now this is where it's being held. I do have an idea coming up that I'm gonna kind of replace that with, so super stoked to really get started on some other mods here pretty soon. Little trasharoo, this is just some little mini one, but it's worked really well, so I can't complain. And to keep this thing from rattling, there are 2 pieces of rubber right here that actually sit on the bumper, so you don't even know it's back there. So now to the inside is gonna be these drawers, which were long overdue. It needed these really, really bad, and I've been happy with them ever since. I actually have a video on my friend building those. So still super stoked. So I have a total of 3 drawers, and then this little cubby up here that's just kind of like my junk drawer. I just literally throw everything under the sun up there. And then also I've got the stove hidden over here on this side. Got a little half drawer, got my pots and pans in, soft close hinges. It's just the little things, you know, the little things. And this is gonna be an ARB fridge. It's a 50 quart. She got it on eBay auction, so just keep your eye out. You don't have to pay full price for everything always. And we ended up actually doing a fridge slide tilt, like so. It was just so much cheaper to make than it was to buy one. This is where all my wiring is right now. I know it doesn't look the prettiest, but I'm still working on it. Like I said, this is not the end of the build, but you can kind of see, and I've got some other video of when we actually put everything together, but the inverter, DC to DC charger, got another fuse panel back here. And then now up top, this is gonna be the rear, or my backup light. Just some little cheapo one of my friends gave me for like 17 bucks. I mean, I think it's ugly, but it's bright, so can't complain too much. But underneath these sides is where I wanted to put the other amber lights. I ended up getting some of those and kind of angle them out. That way I can use one actually underneath this tent for like maybe setting up or something. Have them on a swivel so I can turn it out, or I could maybe put it over the stove. Not really sure yet. Don't have them with me. But also Foothills Fab, same place built my bumper. They built these extremely heavy duty hinges to hold this awning because it is so heavy. CVT mount hood, mine is the size medium. Got it from actually the Chattanooga location, very, very cool. I've been super happy with it. I only had a few issues really at the start, just kind of getting the hang, I guess, of just even having the low profile tent, you know, that I wasn't used to. So I did run into some issues. I do have a little review on it, and then also how I fixed a lot of those, which one of the biggest ones were the latches. These are not the actual CVT latches that you get when you purchase the tent. Wanted something a little bit more durable, and there was just the handle on it was really hard for you to just, you know, pry down and shut the tent. So ended up getting these, which these are rated I think for 2,000, and my bumper latch is 5,000. You can get them all sorts, but these are actually have a locking behind it, is why I like those the best. And this tent is going to be sitting on the Warrior flat rack. What's up? It's a Warrior rack, but it's ARB mounts. It was just cheaper for me to do that. I probably wouldn't advise it because not everything fit like it was supposed to, which is kind of unfortunate, but made it work, and it's held up really well, so no complaints there. It's kind of like something I don't even want to touch now, just in case. Also back here is going to be the WeBoost antenna, and I was kind of skeptical, I guess, about purchasing one of those at first, but then I've actually got to use it a few times, really test, And I mean, it's not perfect. You can't just get unlimited service like no matter where you're at, but it does help a lot when you just need that one bar sometimes when it's on the verge of not having service. And I've got a short clip. I'm finally in a spot where I can really test this WeBoost and actually kind of see this thing work. So if you look at my service right now, I'm going back from 3G to 1X. I got my WeBoost hooked up to the fuse panel in the back, so it's wired full time. Okay, so now setting the phone on my mount next to the WeBoost antenna, and you can see that the service has went up about 2 bars. It is working, and I can actually come back out here just a few steps away, and we're back to 1 bar. But I do think it's well worth the money. I'm happy I have it now. And before I step to the inside, I do need to clean it out a little bit. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna come back and I will show you kind of how all my switches, lights, and back seats, got those taken out. So, and I'll just kind of show you how I've got all that stuff set up. All right, so now that I got everything cleaned out, you can actually see what's in here. Up front, I've got the, I've just got the rocker switches like I used to have. Took a lot out of the center that I didn't really need anymore because we ran them straight to the fuse panel that's in the back. But sitting in the driver's seat right here, I've just got my phone on its mount, and then the WeBoost antenna is right above it, so it sits as close as possible. I've got that same mount twice over here. This little box was supposed to be or is for the secondary battery and voltage and stuff for the solar. It's came unplugged and I just haven't plugged it back up. My CB is on the center console. Again, this was hanging up here, but the sticky has came off of that. And this speaker up top is actually for the CB. Since it's mounted so low, it is kind of hard to hear. This cord running through the center of the console is actually what I run to the top of the tent. The one in the dash is currently not working because we unplugged a bunch of stuff. So right now, if I need a phone charger, then I just use it for this one. Always keep my pistol by my knee right here. And yes, even when that stranger over my door, I did have one right here. What's up? Hey. Got a Kenwood head unit, and the one thing that I miss the most that I don't currently have are my subs. I ended up taking those out when I took the back seats out completely. So that is one thing that I will be putting in pretty soon. It won't be that same box, it'll be a new custom box. I'll try to figure something else out, but I do miss that a lot. I do still have the Rockford 6x5s up top. Those still come in handy, especially when I take my doors off. I've got those pins in there. Got a video on showing you how I do that. And you can still see all these patches above. I try to pick those up if I'm at a national park, national forest, or even just like some type of hobby that I've done. So they're all kind of like personal to me. Some friends get me some from all over. I still have probably about, I don't know, 20 that I haven't even hung up yet. So still working on getting the Velcro on them. And yeah, I plan on just fully covering the top with just patches from all over. As far as the back goes, now that I don't have seats, so in this yellow top box, that's where I've got a few parts and everything like belts and whatnot, just some small end stuff that I may be able to do some repairs by myself. You can see the Rockford amp. I still have that one back there of tarp just because sometimes, hey, you need one. I've got some chairs for camping, my Overland shovel, a fire extinguisher, got a few gallons of water right behind the seat, some coolant to go along because I did have a leak for a little bit. Yep. I've got the levelers for the tires, and then I'll step over on the other side. As you can still see, I've got the wires and it's kind of chaotic right now, but they will be mounted to the floor once I start getting some other stuff in here. But this clear box is what I keep a lot of camping gear in. Right now I think it's just got a tent and maybe my hammock, so nothing too fancy, but camping table. And then I've also got a power strip underneath that, and this bucket that sits right behind my seat. It's just kind of a random array of stuff that I just throw in there. And then I've got a full size axe in here. But other than that, I think that's the inside. Nothing too complex. Like I said, I've still got a lot of stuff that I plan on doing here pretty soon. I'm gonna have to take this to the shop though, and may not have it for, you know, a week or so. Thought I'd go ahead and get this video out of the way since it has been a while since my first video, and how, I mean, I know it wasn't stock, but I mean, it was pretty basic FJ Cruiser to me. So now it's a little bit more personal, and now that I've been able to actually like do some mods and put it to the test, I've been very, very happy with everything though. Fingers crossed, finish it out, because I know how that goes, and just get back to camping. So I'll see y'all out there. Peace.